In this video, I will be explaining what is the Sacrament of Marriage and how the 5 love languages are incorporated into the sacrament. The Sacrament of Marriage is a vocation from God to establish a permanent, faithful, and fruitful encounter of a man and a woman who have entered a covenant relationship of love with one another and with God. The form of marriage consists of the various vows and I do's by which the couple indicate their mutual consent for marriage. This is followed by the nuptial blessing, Holy Communion, and blessing at the end of the Mass. An example of the vows given include priest, name and name, have you come here freely and without reservation to give yourselves to each other in marriage? Bride says yes, groom says yes. Priest asks, will you honor each other as a man and wife for the rest of your lives? Bride says yes, groom says yes. Priest, will you accept children lovingly from God and bring them up according to the law of Christ and His church? Bride says yes and groom says yes. The matter of the sacrament consists of the couple present at the ceremony in addition to the mutual consent and covenant to live together as husband and wife and the consummation of the marriage. The covenant is best represented through the exchange of the rings. This union between man and woman has existence in the creation of man through Adam and Eve. The Catechism of the Catholic Church says, marriage comes from the hand of the Creator. It not only comes from human institution. The unity of man and woman has existed through history, but was later opened towards economic gain and manipulation. An example of this was the Jewish society in which Jesus was born in. Women were chosen simply for economic gain rather than love. The early church did not promote marriage for this reason, but then realized that marriage is necessary because Jesus' first miracle was at a wedding, the wedding of Cana. Thus, in the 5th century, the Council of Florence said the church named matrimony a sacrament and tried to enforce it among Catholics. In the 16th century, Protestants started making arguments against this belief of marriage only supported by the miracle of Cana. The church responded with the Council of Trent of 1547 and thus answered any questions about marriage in the church and made modifications where necessary to the modern day. Marriage preparation programs take different forms. Some couples attend a weekend retreat, others are matched with a sponsored couple, and others participate in a series of marriage preparation classes offered by their parish or diocese. The important thing for engaged couples is to keep in mind as they check numerous items after pre-wedding to do this is the well-known adage, your wedding lasts a day, but your marriage lasts a lifetime. The church encourages couples to invest time and energy into the all-important work of preparing for their married life together. While the priest directs the actual marriage ceremony, the couple are the actual ministers of the sacrament of matrimony. They control the marriage and promises and thus control the relationship and fulfillment of these promises. The couple is responsible in establishing a permanent relationship for eternity, life after death, being faithful to one another, and being able to take care of children as their vocation calls on them to do. Living the sacrament of matrimony means living out the responsibilities called upon the vocation. This means establishing a permanent, faithful, and fruitful relationship with your spouse. Permanent means in whatever conditions the relationship must be maintained and last forever. Faithful represents to be there for your one spouse in whatever condition he or she needs. Fruitful means the call to have children and be able to accept the responsibilities of having these children. All these responsibilities correspond with living the sacrament of matrimony. The love languages play into this, for it allows the couple to understand each other and express their love that is best understood and appreciated. It would make the responsibilities easier to understand and live out. You are probably wondering what the 5 love languages are. The 5 love languages are words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. They are different ways in which we receive love, and depending on how we are, it depends which is our love language, how we best accept love or interpret it. The first love language is words of affirmation. This means that compliments like I love you and your potential make a real impact on you. They help build your self-esteem, while insults shatter you personally. It really affects you and you don't forget them. A person who strives for words of affirmation wants to hear compliments and feels better for them. The second love language is acts of service. This is actions that help you personally and that the other person helps you and this is what you appreciate the most. Laziness really affects you and hurts your relationship with the other person, and you like acts of love over other types of expressions of love. Quality time represents the other person spending time with you rather than watching TV or something they would rather do. Distractions and other things can hurt your relationship with them, while spending time deepens your relationship with them. The receiving of gifts is you like gifts that have effort and thought time process put behind them. Hastily thought gifts could hurt your relationship with the other person, while good gifts and effort and love-giving gifts really deepen your relationship with the other person. Physical touch has to do with pats in the back or other types of physical touch which show care and love. Abuse and neglect could shatter you emotionally though. The love languages, with marriage preparation, assist in understanding the other person's feelings in a relationship and being able to express love most effectively. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have gained insight on the Sacrament of Marriage and how the 5 love languages are incorporated into the sacrament.